This video is about leaky gut. I'm going to talk about what health conditions it's associated with, what type of testing you could do to find out if you potentially have it, and how you can treat it if you find out that you do have it. Enjoy. Leaky gut is just a simple way of describing increased intestinal permeability. And the word leaky gut implies that something is leaking, and that's exactly what is happening. You see, your intestines are lined with a single layer of cells. And that is all that is protecting you from the outside world, because the inside of your gut is actually the outside of your body. And so that's a boundary layer. That is preventing, that single layer of cells that lines your digestive tract is preventing things from the outside world, i.e. chemicals, bacteria, and other irritants, from getting into the bloodstream. So all the cells that line your digestive tract are held together tightly by these things called tight junctions. And as long as these are held tight together, then you don't have leaky gut. When these tight junctions start to loosen up, then larger molecules that are inside of your digestive tract could get into your bloodstream, and those will cause an immune reaction, because the immune system is like, what is this foreign object coming into contact with the bloodstream? The walls have been breached. We need to send out the guard. It's time to increase inflammation and get the whole process of fighting a potential invader. What causes those tight junctions to loosen up? Well, we know a couple things. One of them is gliadin, which is a glycoprotein found in gluten. So you've probably heard, oh, everybody has problems with gluten. Well, not everybody, but for the vast majority of people who do have problems with gluten, it could be related to this, the effect that gliadin, which is from gluten, has on the tight junctions, because what it does is it loosens them up. Another thing which causes the tight junctions to loosen is some metabolites produced by certain species of bacteria. We actually know one of the chemicals that the body produces that loosens up the tight junctions, and that chemical is called zonulin. And this is what we use as a marker to see if you possibly have leaky gut. So for somebody who is having digestive problems, who suspects they have leaky gut, if their doctor suspects it, the doctor is going to order a test called the zonulin stool test. And what that will show is if the zonulin is elevated, it's a good indication that there is increased intestinal permeability going on in the gut. If you have taken the zonulin test and it shows that you do have an increased zonulin, then there are things that you can do to help to improve your intestinal health and to reduce this increased intestinal permeability. And the main things that you can do are limit the amount of refined sugars that you eat. I know the new guidelines for the United States say that 10% of your diet should be refined sugars, but that is crazy. Really, you should only be eating no more than a tablespoon per day of refined sugars. And if you're wondering what refined sugars are, I made a video about this a while back. I'll put a link down in the description. But anyways, that's number one, reduce your refined sugar intake. Number two is to eat more fermented foods. Now, fermented foods are foods that bacteria, usually beneficial bacteria, have started to digest for you. And when, like for example, sauerkraut. Sauerkraut is cabbage, and basically it just sits there and bacteria start to digest it. And when they digest it, they make waste products that form a soup of bacteria and waste products, and it gives it that sour taste. Well, when you eat that, your immune system inside your gut senses all those metabolic waste products of those friendly bacteria and starts to strengthen the lining of the gut in preparation for being invaded by these microbes. So eating fermented foods is a good idea. If you have a dairy issue, I would stay away from fermented dairy, but eating things like kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha tea are great things for your gut. A good probiotic product could be beneficial, especially one that has several strains of healthy bacteria, because those healthy microbes crowd out unfavorable species of bacteria that have occupied your gut, and potentially some of these unfavorable species could have been causing the leaky gut in the first place. So if you get a bunch of new good bacteria coming in and crowding them out, then healing can begin. Eating a diet with a lot of fiber, so fiber from fruits, fiber from vegetables, is also helpful to set up a good environment for healthy species of bacteria to colonize your gut, which ultimately helps protect you from developing leaky gut. Avoiding gluten and gluten-containing grains is another good idea, considering what I said earlier about the gliadin glycoprotein that is found in gluten. Avoiding those could help as well. There are other environmental factors that you should avoid, such as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen and Motrin and naproxen, because long-term use of these could degrade the lining of the gut, making you more susceptible to developing leaky gut. Also, steroid medications like prednisone could also potentially damage the lining of the gut, leading to leaky gut. Chronic stress, and other maybe food sensitivities. If you're curious about food sensitivities, I made another video about a test that you can take, and the link is down below in the description. But food sensitivities could cause a chronic immune reaction in the gut, which could result in leaky gut as well. In addition to making the lifestyle changes and the dietary changes, there are some folk remedies that I have found clinically to be beneficial for my patients who I have diagnosed with increased intestinal permeability. And those include herbs like marshmallow, slippery elm, the amino acid L-glutamine. You could buy products which contain mucin, which is the actual coating that the body makes to protect the lining of the gut. So there are several other things out there that you can take, which anecdotally I have found to be helpful as well. And that's all I have for you today. If you liked the video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.